Hey, 5th grade, this is Miss Reeser here. Today your assignment is Lesson 11, and in Lesson 11 you are learning about two pairs of words that are often can be misused. So the first pair is between and among. Alright, the first pair is between. Let's see if I can get it. I'm getting my reflection in the between and among. So we use between to show when we're only talking about two things. Okay? So right now I am sitting between two chairs. Here's one chair, and the other chair's over here. You can't see it, but it's there. So I'm sitting between two chairs. I only have two things, so I use the preposition between. But we use among when we're talking about a whole group of things. So I will divide the candy among the class. There are more than two people in your class, so I will divide it among the class, okay? So we use the preposition between when we're talking about only two things, and when we're talking about a whole group, we use the preposition among. All right, and let me get this erased and set up for the next section. Trying to do this without an eraser, which doesn't work very well. All right, here we go. So less and fewer are two words that can also get mixed up. And these are words we use when we're comparing something. So if we're comparing amounts of something, we use fewer or less. But when do we use fewer and when do we use less? There are specific times that we need to use fewer and not less. And there are times that we need to use less and not fewer. And we're going to look at what those are. So I'm going to draw some pictures here to hopefully help you remember. I'm not an artist. I should have Joseph come and draw my pictures for me because I am not very good at drawing here quickly, but we'll see what we can do. All right, so here are my poor drawings. So something to help you remember how to use these properly is the little saying, fewer forks, less sugar. Okay, so fewer forks, less sugar. We use fewer for things that we can count, okay? So we can count forks, and these are supposed to be forks if you can't tell. So I have 3 forks in my first group, and I have 2 forks in my second group. So I have fewer forks in group 2 than in group 1, okay? So I use fewer for things that I can count, and to help you remember, you can say fewer forks because forks are things that we can count, okay? Now come down to here to less, and the saying for less is less sugar, okay? We use less when we have an amount that can be measured but not counted, okay? When you are measuring sugar, you don't count each individual tiny grain of sugar. That would take a really, really long time. So we don't count sugar, but we measure sugar. So I have more sugar in my first bowl than in my second bowl. This is supposed to be sugar. And so I have less sugar in the second bowl than the first. Okay? I wouldn't say I have fewer sugar because sugar is not something that we count. It's something we measure. So I have less sugar in the second bowl than in the first bowl. Okay? And up here with the forks, I would not say I have less forks in my second group than in my first group. Okay? Forks are something that I can count. I don't measure forks, I count forks. So we need to use fewer with forks. So again, the saying is fewer forks and less sugar. Okay? And back to the first pair of words, between and among, we use between when you're talking about two things. I am sitting between the two chairs. And use among when you're talking about a group of things. So I will divide the candy among the class. All right, so that's your lesson for today. And you also have a new spelling list. So I will get these words up and I will read them to you so you can hear them. And you can follow along on page 40 of your book. Okay, so your spelling words are these: apply, approach, ashore, attain, challenge, channel, chatter, collapse, connect, pattern, pollute, pressure, quarrel, ruffle, shatter, simmer, stagger, summon, surround, and tussle. So those are your new spelling words, 5th grade, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow.